Verbal abuse. What is verbal abuse? Verbal abuse is when someone uses their words and speech to assault, control, ridicule, manipulate, or denigrate another person. The abuser's aim is to use verbal abuse to control and keep authority over another person. Verbal abuse is a form of verbal aggression that can take place in personal and professional relationships, for instance, in family settings or work relationships. According to a survey published by the RAND Corporation in 2017, 13.1% of males and 12.4% of women have encountered verbal abuse at work. Verbal abuse victims usually question whether or not what they are experiencing is indeed harmful. They also question if it is significant. Every relationship is unique, and emotional and verbal abuse indicators may not be visible right from the start. Verbally abusive persons might appear as nice people in other areas of their lives, but their verbal abuse habits can arise gradually or unexpectedly. God's thoughts on verbal abuse. The Bible has a lot to say on verbal abuse and the importance of the words we speak. Ephesians 4, verse 29 says, "Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear." This verse clearly shows us that verbal abuse is seen as a form of corrupt talking that doesn't spiritually, emotionally, and mentally build the hearer. It implies that corrupt talking can lead to mental and emotional damage. Proverbs 22, verse 24 also says that we should make no friendship with anyone given to anger or wrath, as such emotions give birth to verbal abuse. A verbal abuser utters destructive words of death, as reflected in Proverbs 18, verse 21. It is therefore important to guard your life and heart against verbal abuse, as it has the power to destroy and damage your life. What are the signs of verbal abuse? The following are signs of verbal abuse: gaslighting, bullying, criticizing, making attempts to verbally embarrass or offend you, accusing you of being sensitive or having a lack of sense of humor, screaming and yelling at you regularly, sudden arguments that catch you off guard, yet you're held responsible for beginning them, discussions that tend to lead to a chain of accusations, making you feel bad about yourself by portraying themselves as the victim. They hold their cruel acts for when you're alone, but when others are present, they act entirely differently. Use of abusive words to invade your personal space or prevent you from leaving. They throw tantrums and use words as emotional blackmail to make you feel guilty. Choice of words that portray you as useless, not good enough, and never meeting their expectations. What are the impacts of verbal abuse? The following are examples of the impacts of verbal abuse. Fear and suppression of emotions. People-pleasing and trying to maintain peace. Impaired judgment and second-guessing. Inability to express yourself and emotionally unstable. Low self-esteem and lack of confidence. Unhappiness, sadness and feeling hopeless. Internalization and overwhelming negative thoughts. Chronic anxiety, PTSD, worrying and panic attacks. Shame, remorse, and a sense of hopelessness. Social withdrawal and isolation. Personal and professional underachievement and underperformance. Self-harm, self-neglect and suicidal behaviors. Next steps. Remember, living in an abusive relationship and setting is toxic on so many levels. A toxic relationship or environment can stagnate your life, compromise God's best for you, and leave psychological damage that may sometimes be difficult to overcome. As always, if not yet done, we encourage you to sign up and join our community today, by clicking the link below in the description section, to receive a free gift and all the support you need to journey through life, and overcome your life challenges. That's all for now. Remain blessed with divine health and well-being.